All right, we are live. We're coming on a little early. Let's see if people.
Hello, everybody. We are super excited to be here today for so many reasons. We're going to talk about a very special project that we've been working on behind the scenes. Um, and we're going to talk to you coming from a publisher standpoint. I am Hannah Olivas. I'm here today with my beautiful daughter, Adriana, and we are the CEOs of She Rises Studios. And we're going to talk to you about an incredible book coming up that features 19 powerful Latina women from all over. And kind of the journey as to why we took this project on, what it's about, and why it's so important for this message. So, Adriana, kick us off, baby.
All right. Well, first of all, thank everyone for watching. I know it's a little different. I don't think we've done it in this way before, where we're giving the publisher standpoint. So, as everyone knows, we publish a lot of self-help books. And I think a major reason for that was because of the whole messaging and start of She Rises Studios about how uplifting and empowering women. And they have all kind of been in that region of books, but that's not all we're about, and that's not all we want to do. So, this book in particular, Breaking the Glass Ceiling, really gave us a chance to do something a little bit different out of our typical norm. And it's exactly where we want to be, and it's exactly what we want to continue to do, which is uplift women, but in a different way, and be able to share our voices in a different way. So, this book is exciting. It's coming out August 30th of this month, and um, we're going to be talking about and getting perspective from 19 different women about how representation matters, about empowerment and resilience. And one of the biggest things is we really wanted to impact the reader so that they understand the standpoints of these writers and of these women, the perspective that they're wanting to share, what their messaging is. So when we think of She Rises Studios Latina, we think about what does that look like? And being a Latina has a lot of meaning in there. So, I mean, if there are any Latinas watching right now, I would love for you to give us your version of what being a Latina means, because it means something different to every person. For me, it means I grew up in a household that was primarily Mexican American. And my extended family, a lot of them are from Mexico. But growing up here in, California, and just being where I grew up, I definitely had a different perspective of what it meant for me to be a Latina in my community versus what maybe a traditional from their origin, their country of origin. So it's very different for every person, and that's why I say that this book is going to be such an amazing and impactful read, because it means something different. And we get to break down the barriers. We get to talk about some of the stories of what it meant to grow up in the situations that we did. So we have some pretty inspiring stories from women who went through a lot, just to be able to be where they are today. And these are very successful women in business. I just want everyone to know that these women are in every industry, from law, real estate. We have writers that have already written books before, and just like a plethora of businesses that they come from. And they are amazing, strong, empowered women. So this is a super exciting book for us to be sharing today.
I think too, if all of you who have watched our journey, we launched She Rises Latina earlier, in the year, and we launched it because we know the importance of embracing all the different cultures in business and in life. And we really wanted to focus on helping women who are underrepresented or who consider themselves a minority. We wanted to open up this platform. And actually, it wasn't just myself and Adriana. There was a third incredible woman who powered this up as well. Her name is Yudi. And we we had this incredible launch in New York, and the room was filled with incredible energy, the vibe, like just everything, and the emotion behind what it means to break the glass ceiling, what it means to shatter some of the stigmas that women, minority women, face. And so when we were talking about this project with Yudi and talking about like the concept of it, um, some people might consider this controversial, but really what it is it's a way to bridge what society has kind of separated. Like we talk about media, there's mainstream media and then there's Latina media, right? But why can't it all be one? Why do we always have to separate the two? And the answer to that question, I know it, and I'm not going to give it to you today, but I know what it is. And the answer is in that book in 19 different ways. So when we decided, yes, we want to publish this book, yes, you know, we want to partner with these women, and these women said yes to us, we took that as a huge compliment, a huge, huge piece of vital information that we could put together and share to other women, Latina women in business. And so breaking the glass ceiling means a lot to us and also the women who wrote it. But I think you're going to be utterly shocked by what you read in this book because these stories are so compelling and so different. There is no one story in this book that is the same. And every single woman who is in this book fought to be where they are today. And like you mentioned, real estate investors, um, there's so many like women in legislation are in this book. And I cannot tell you the courage that it took for them to share their story. And some of them, how hard they fought to come to this country and be able to do business. And so I'm hoping by this book being published and us sharing our voices together collectively that we are going to shatter some stigmas. I think it's going to be a very big eye opener for many people across the board in business, in life, just everywhere. Because the fact is, we should never not want to do business or not want to connect with someone due to their culture, race, creed, religion, like those things. Like we have to develop a culture that we can all work together. And I think that this book really does that. We talk about wealth building, we talk about discrimination, we talk about so many different things, and they're very sensitive subjects, but they're incredible. And they need to be talked about. So I'm excited. We have our light the torch that day, and this is the very first book that She Rises Latina will have published. And what a great way to segue into 2024. We're literally mid-year. We have so much to look forward to still, so many things to be done, and this is just one of the most important projects of the year to me. So I'm super excited to get this out into the readers' hands, and just really the message that it that it shares. I'm Latina, but I also am Norwegian, Dutch, and Italian. And growing up, I did not know which one to embrace. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
Going into middle school, going into high school, going into business world, who do I identify with? Who do I connect with? Who's going to accept me as I am? Oh, you're not Latina enough because your Spanish is, not the same as someone else's. Like there's so many different things that you're going to read in this book. But here's the little secret. Want to know a secret?
What's the secret?
The secret is at the end of the day, we're all human.
Very
So,
true.
with that said, how about we break that glass ceiling and show people it doesn't matter and that we can all work together and that incredible things can be done and we don't have to be the minority anymore. It can be a majority of collaboration, elevation, and celebration for women.
Yeah, you're gonna get that with this book. I mean, I don't even think anyone's gonna understand how incredibly inspiring this book is going to be, because every author has poured their heart into the stories that they are sharing in this book. It's insane. Like, there's been a lot of back and forth and nervousness that's come from these chapters, and fear of being judged, and just a lot of different factors that have played a role into this. So it's not something that we're taking lightly. We really are hoping that the readers can feel what these writers have put into their chapters. We're really hoping that they receive it with an open mind, open heart, and wanting to understand where people come from. And because it does set the stage and set the tone for other books and other women of different backgrounds, whatever that background is, to feel seen, heard, and known in a respected way. Because, like, this is really about um, the coming of, and what can we do when we're misunderstood. What can we do about that? It's breaking cycles. It's trying to get people to understand that if you're, like, we're not going to wait to be accepted. We're going to go and make ourselves um, welcome, because that's our right, in the sense of, this is our life, these are these women's lives, and it's just an exciting book. So I can't wait. And one of the biggest things I'd want to say is, if you're thinking of writing something to this degree, this impactful, whether it's a solo book or wanting to start your own anthology, we want to be there for you, and get to be a publisher and stand behind your messaging. So if you have something like that, where you're like, I'm ready to talk about, and we've heard things from, like, addiction, we've heard things about women in faith, we've heard things about veterans, stuff like that. So there's a lot of different fields and things that we haven't touched on yet in our book. So there's a lot of room for these discussions, whether it's in a solo book or an anthology. So if you're ready, I would say let's get started, because this year is booked up. 2023 is done. We're not publishing any more, or bringing on, I should say, any new clients this year. But that doesn't mean that we can't start the writing process with you for 2024 and really, knock it out of the park early on, because 2024 is going to be a huge year for She Rises Studios and all of our authors. There's a lot happening. And if you don't already have your tickets, I will say the Miami event is coming up. It's in September, perfectly timed for our Women's Empowerment Month, right? And that's going to be called the Dream Big, Do Bigger. It was originally, I think it was, I forget which month it was, but we moved it to September. So it's a lot of fun. It's going to be super exciting. If you didn't already get your tickets, they are up and available. So we hope to see you at the Miami event this September.
Bienvenido a Miami. I think it's going to be, in terms of this book and just the rest of this year, um, I really hope that women will take this as a sign to speak up and speak out. You have so many different ways to do that. And we've created that platform for you. Our house is your house. Mi casa es su casa. So if you're ready, whether it's to break out into, you know, whether it's having your own show, writing a book, creating a journal, doing public relations, marketing, branding, like whatever that is, I keep hearing this tone of, oh, it's summer. Who does business in summer? I do. You know, oh, my kids are going back to school. It's really hectic. The show must go on. The world doesn't stop because it's summer. The world doesn't stop because kids are going back to school. Any entrepreneur will tell you that part of breaking the glass ceiling in any business is staying consistent in your business. And yes, it's great to have summer vacations. It's great to send the kids off to school. I'm a mom of 5, been there, done it, about to do it again. But I still make the time to show up, be consistent, and continue to shatter the stigmas. And I'm hoping more and more women will join that cause and be the voice that we really need, be that change that we all wish to see. And I attended an event today, with some incredible powerhouse women. And let me tell you what, those ladies are already gearing up for 2024, 2025. And women are making a huge impact in the economy. And just a little bit of insight for this coming year, 2024, $30 trillion. Trillion is going to go into women owned businesses. So be one of those women. If you have questions on how to be one of those women, please reach out to us. I'm happy to share the insight and the intel that I received. But for the meantime, let's keep breaking those glass ceilings and shattering those stigmas and showing up and just being, the lead by example. That's what we do. So
Definitely.
congratulations to all the women in the book. I'm going to tag them into this somehow, some way, because I really want you to see who these incredible women are.
Yep, they're not playing around. I can tell you that much. They're super excited for this book to come out. They're super excited for you to learn about them and what they're doing in their business and how they're changing the world, because they truly are. So it's a lot of fun. It's going to be an experience. If you are someone who wants the book, but you also know someone that this book would be perfect for, let them know about it. Tag them in here. Invite them into the She Rises Studios community. We're growing at an exponential rate, so we're just super excited about that. But thank you all so much for watching and taking the time. Comment down below #ready if you're ready to get your story out there today. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.